Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, sir. Now we are able to hear.
Audio is clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now it is good, sir. Okay, can we start?
Yes.
Okay. Sarji, can you start recording?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Today's okay. We are on question selection activities. We just activated the applications in client, then skip services, further BC sets. Now the next step is we need to activate another two workflow related tasks.
Girish, are you sharing your screen?
Yeah,
Yes,
I can
sir.
see this.
Okay, I'm not seeing it.
Is everybody is not visible on my screen?
Yeah, we are able to see.
Sir, I just opened the presentation.
Okay, I can't see it. Okay, let me log off and come back
let
again.
me, let me, 1 minute, sir. I'll reshare again. 1 minute. Stop sharing. Can you check now, sir?
No, it's not showing up. Let me leave and come back.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Girish, are you sharing this PPT? You share it today,
No,
okay?
now I'm
And then you keep sharing it every day, okay?
okay. Okay. Then I will share this PPT today. Okay.
Girish, are you sharing?
Yes.
I can't see it.
Why, sir? Okay. What I'll do, I'll share the complete slides today.
Subha, even I can see it. So something wrong with yours. You might have to reboot the system.
No, he was already disconnected.
Actually, I was able to see initially.
Now?
Girish screen, but Girish, okay, yes, I'm able to see.
I just opened. I'm waiting for Subhas. That's why I opened this one. Teams. Today, also again, generally we won't involve this activity. If we will involve, that is good. But to know these tasks, how to activate and what are the what is the purpose of the activation of these two tasks? These tasks will help you to troubleshoot majority of the workflow issue. This is the starting point of troubleshooting tip for the workflow issues. Sir, are you able to see my screen? Presentation?
Not yet.
So you rebooted your system, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me one more time. I'll stop sharing. I will resume. Now, sir.
No.
Oh,
So, Suba, reboot it. That's the only way out.
we did that.
Oops.
Yeah, this is the starting point of first step. We need to check whether everything is activated or not. Like the initial steps, you can say. There are some issues, probably workflow got triggered, but um, it will not on who is approver. It will not visible in the GRC request. And workflow is activated, approver is there, but the working box is empty. His working box is empty. So the actual the request is not go to approver's working box. So the kind of issues we need to start the troubleshooting from this point. But generally, this is all these steps, whatever we discussed today and probably tomorrow, all these 6 or 7 steps. This is a one-time steps, configuration steps, but security or GRC team are not involved. But for any upgrades or any issues, you just need to do validation all these steps so that make sure the initial steps are good. Then probably we will go for further validation steps.
Grish, you already did this step or you're going to do it?
Sorry?
The step you were just showing in the last screen, you already done that. Everything is green, correct? So over here, you get that WF. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm just going for navigation. But this seems to be system it was already activated. But I'll show. This seems to be good. So from the navigation.
Grace, actually, I missed. This is, I mean, workflow, that specific step that we are discussing, that we need to perform as a part of post.
Yeah, post steps. Post steps. Initially, we have to do it.
So what actually that all are already in green, but if system is not implemented, how it's look like and what actions we need to
No,
perform
it's in
within
a
that?
red. It's in a red color. It's like this red color.
Okay. But this
Everything
configuration, yeah.
is red. Everything is in red. So each step we need to activate. But this particular SWU3 screen, this is a transaction is SWU3, but we'll go with the navigation. This step. So there is a rapid change, like different steps were added. Most of the steps are belongs to basis only, and we just click on that and click on activate or execute the activity. It will automatically activate. Only few steps we need to involve. We need to execute some jobs, kind of thing. And this particular complete screen, we will maintain the SMTP, the domain address for mail notifications, email notifications. So I'll show in the system so that you will understand what are the steps probably we will perform, but what are some of the steps we may not perform. But everything basis will perform, that would help because they will execute and they can troubleshoot if any background job related issues or anything.
Okay.
Probably Subha Sharma joined. Okay. To activate the perform task specific and auto workflow testing or auto workflow tasks, you just need to go to Pro, GRC, General Settings, then Workflow. So only we will activate these two. So this is perform automatic workflow customization. So initially it was end up with the red color.
Hi, Girish. Sorry for that.
Hi. Any questions on last session?
No, Girish.
Okay. Today we are discussing about perform automatic workflow customization and task specific customizing activity. So the navigation would be Scroll, GRC, access control, sorry, general settings, workflow, perform automatic workflow testing. So the first step, we'll just click on this and execute the activity. Generally, we will do each and every step, but some of the steps we need some involvement, like execute the jobs that we'll see. But rest of the steps we will just click on execute the activity. But the first step, click on configure RFC destination. Once we click on this activity, what will happen? It will trigger the WF batch user. It will do two activities. One is it will automatically create the WF batch user in the system. Before that user won't be there, but it will pop up the user. And parallelly, it will create one local RFC destination. This is a logical destination it will create, but since it is 0001 client, it will generally end with the subsequent client number. Now this is 001. So if it is a 500, workflow underscore local underscore 500, it will automatically create these two set of activities. Sometimes what will happen in this particular step, WF batch user, even though it is some screen color, it won't create WF batch user. So we need to make sure we will check this in the SU01 whether this user is created. And sometimes what will happen, first step is user created or not. Okay, user created. Even though this step will not come to green color, then what will happen? We need to assign SAP all profile for temporarily to this user SU01. Once that is done, then we will check workflow underscore local underscore this RFC got created or not. 3 steps. WF batch user is created or not. SAP all assign SAP all profile, and also there is one role which is mentioned in the documentation right side. Yes, SAP BC BMP WF serve user. This role will assign to WF batch user. Okay. Any questions?
Hey, Grish, hasn't this WF batch has been changed by some other user? I don't remember, right?
Yes. Yes. It's a. I'm coming to that.
Okay.
That is okay. If no more questions, then okay. If it is S4HANA GRC field, everything is in the same box. The setup in the same box. Then the WF batch user, instead of WF batch user, there is a SAP underscore WF RCT thing, the username. The username should be created automatically. The user was different, but everything is same, but the user was different. And I'll share some notes. What is the difference between these two user IDs? There are a couple of notes SAP has released, so I'll share these notes today.
Can you write the username in the chat? Can you write the username in the chat?
I'm not sure. WF SAP underscore WF RCT, I think. I'll share that users. No, I'll share that notes. I don't remember the exact username. So it's a SAP underscore WF RCT, I think. But SAP has released. There is no much difference, but the user ID got changed. Since I think you have same environment, right? Embedded system. S4HANA, GRC, and Fury. All are in the same environment, right? Sarji?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Then I'm okay.
No. You have the same setup, right?
Yeah, I had, but now I don't have access, so we had to change it. No, I don't remember the name, but let me check.
Yeah, it's
Give me a few seconds. Let me check through my notes. Okay.
No. Yeah, sure. No issues. So, user is created or not, SAPL profile, then we will assign the standard role. Even if it is not comes to green color, there is no issue, but we just make sure that all the steps are performed properly, or all the steps are completed properly. One is a WF batch user is created or not, then it got assigned SAPL profile and this role, then the logical RFC, the respective client logical RFC is created or not. That we can validate from this RFC should be created. Later, first initially there is no batch user ID. It should be normal. Later, someone has added WF batch user. But this RFC will be created in the system. Make sure we just make sure all the steps got complete. Any questions?
This same logical connection we need to create in the plugin system as well, or?
No. This is only GRC system.
Okay, for a WF batch.
Yeah, for the WF batch. This particular step is completely in GRC system.
Okay.
And this is one of the post steps for upgrade, because all these steps are we must verify and we must validate in the system as a post steps.
Okay. And in case of refresh, we should validate also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even for refresh and restore, whatever the activities.
Okay.
This creating connector and configuring this RFC destination. These two are different things.
Sorry.
Normally we need to. We configure connector, right?
No, yeah. These two are different. This is by default actually. This is by default. So it should be automatically created. If not created, even we can create this RFC in the logical connection. Connection type L, we will create this RFC. Workflow underscore local underscore the 500 or 600 or 32, whatever it may be number. See, that is extreme case. Like this step will automatically perform the activity. If not, we need to manually configure, we need to manually create the user, assign the necessary authorization, then we need to create a logical RFC. So the step got completed. Otherwise, your workflow will not trigger. If this logical system is not created, the workflow will not trigger.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that is compulsory. I mean,
Yes, this is compulsory.
okay.
This is
Or
compulsory.
even like if we created separately that configure RFC destination, then it will automatically get green here, or I mean that. I mean, what
No,
exactly happens?
generally it will comes to green. Generally, as soon as you we executed this activity, automatically it will comes to green.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And some cases, okay, I'm talking about system refresh. Okay. System refresh. Sometimes what will happen? The WF batch user is already created in the system, right? Already existing in the system. So the refresh, the new system got refreshed. There is also one WF batch user. Two WF batch users were existing in the refresh system, the new system. Okay. That time what will happen? We need to delete the WF batch users and execute this step. Because the user master data should be take the backup before performing the system refresh. Again, they will reload the user master data. Sometimes what will happen? They will overwrite the data. So two WF batch users will come. I'm talking about extreme cases. So you should be, until unless WF batch user is not active, active in the system, your workflows will not trigger. So what you have to do, you have to go and check SU01 whether the dual IDs, two IDs are there or not. Then if it is two IDs are existing in the system, then you can first go and delete those two users with necessary approvals. You can explain the situation. You can delete those user IDs, execute this step. This will automatically create the WF batch user. You want to test it? Once after a system refresh, you just executed one self request to yourself, then whether it got trigger the notifications and it will go to the approver working box, you can do some validation. So everything will not happen. Then you can start the troubleshooting from this point, whether the WF batch user is active or not, locked or validity period. Like you need to perform some health conditions for the WF batch user. And this logical system, RFC is connection test. You just do the connection test, whether it is good or not. So once everything is okay, or you find some discrepancy, then you can delete it and recreate it.
Girish, as you said, that might be the case, like two WF batch user will be there after refresh. So with the same name, dual
Same
ID will exist.
Yes,
Okay.
because that is a refresh system, right? So the data will, junk data will be there, because we have faced this issue.
Okay. Okay.
So DLID we have deleted, and mostly I prefer to delete the WF batch user, and after system refresh, I deleted the WF batch user and executed this step. It will automatically create. We'll assign some standard role, SAP, not SAP on, SAP equivalent manual role is there. So we will assign that authorization. Then we'll do the self request for testing.
I mean, system refresh means, I mean,
Okay.
updating data, right?
No, actually, there are some cases, project landscape, certain landscapes, certain systems are there. One is a project landscape and another one is a support landscape. Okay. to get the new, instead of we are again rework on the complete property, the new changes or new enhancements, some companies, they will follow the system strategy. So they will refresh the system from project landscape to support landscape, production landscape. This will only like dev to dev, quality to quality, like that. Not in the production system, but they will do the landscape migration from project landscape to production landscape.
Okay, okay. So during refresh, I mean the new box
Yeah,
when
system refresh.
ready, then I mean during that time there might be a problem with this user ID, and during that time.
Yeah, definitely. We need to perform. What will happen? I will give you the detail steps. Whatever the configuration steps, we need to re-execute because it will comes the RFC connections with the old name to new name. So we need to replace. We'll have a session on the loss. What are the steps we need to perform and what are the steps we need to take care during the refresh? What is the pre-steps and the post-steps? We'll have a detailed discussion. I won't go deeper, but since the situation is here, so WF batch user we need to take care. So apart from these steps, additionally, we have to assign test email ID, any test email ID with respect to the company name to WF batch user to send the notification. This step is a must we need to perform for WF batch user. Just make a note. If any notifications or anything, it will not trigger to any approvers or any emails. First, we need to check whether the WF batch user has at least an email, test @abclimited.com, whatever it may be. So the respective company, we need to create one test email, rgse@abclimited.com, like that. We need a test email. That email will distribute the emails to all the approvers and all the users. That is one of the key steps we have to take care for the WF batch user. So WF batch user, in this particular step, we have to done 4 validations. One is whether the user is created or not, then necessary authorizations, SAP all on the standard role, or you can take the copy of the standard role as well, and logical RFC, and WF batch user has email ID or not. So all these 4 steps we need to perform for WF batch user and respect to configure RFC destination step. Any doubts? Okay. For the rest of the other steps, like we just select and execute, it will automatically comes to green color. There is no much involved, like manual work involved for these steps. Once all these steps are completed, then edit prefix numbers. So once we execute this activity, just to create for the step. So you can give maximum 3-digit number, highest number. In general, we will give 999. So only 3 digits, but highest number we will give 999. 999 will always give 999 for this particular step. So where it would help means, it would help, we need, while we are creating the workflow stages, the stage number is a 3-digit number. So we can start from 001 to 999. By creating any manager, role owner, compliance manager or firefighter owner, any workflow stages, we will use these numbers range. It's a kind of a number range. Since it is a 3 digits, we will give the highest number, 999. But it will create a package. It will ask for the package. Someone is already created, but it will ask for the package. So generally they will store it in a standard TMP package, but for GRC configurations, we will create with help of ABAPR, we will create one package. That package, get GRC or whatever it may be, that is used for our customization. So this particular step will map to package, and we will transport that package to and across the landscape. If you save with TMP, it cannot be transportable. It is a temporary storage in the local system. So we must create some custom package. I think they have refreshed the system, so it's not allowing. Send it already here. But we will give 999 in this particular step. In case we got chance to work on a fresh implementation, we will give 999.
So Grish, can't you give 998?
You can give,
Yeah.
but you cannot use 999.
Yeah, because it's already there, right? It's already there.
No, yeah, but it's refreshed by some custom system, so that's why it is not allowing me to give the number. This is the problem. Local systems, they will reconfigure and they will refresh, right?
Okay.
Directly system. And okay, for this step, nothing, but this step, check the entries for HR control table. There are 2 reports. You must execute these 2 reports. Then only you will get comes to green color. Otherwise, this step would be always red. So, on overall, for each and every step, there is a right side documentation, but most of the steps, it will, once we click on execute activity, it will automatically. But like RFC destination, prefix number, and HR table, these has some manual additional tasks will require. So to complete these steps, and also you may refer SAP note to complete this step. So here, a web server. So we would require domain names, the company domain name to distribute the email IDs. So we would require web server and domain internet email. Once we update these details, then only it will comes to green color. Means that particular step is activated. Okay. This is everything is normal. You can just click and execute the activity, redo the activity, so it will automatically complete. I think it's must maintain the gateway server. Yeah, you have to maintain the gateway server details. As soon as you maintain the gateway server details, it will the step would complete. So basically, for this reason only, we need a basis team help And basis will perform these tasks basically by seeing the post installation standard document. After installation, then they will do some post installation steps. And I'll also share one standard document, but that is GRC 10 related, but it would cover all these steps. But as soon as when you got opportunity, probably you can just validate the documentation. Is there any additional manual tasks would require? So any questions?
So
What is
Girish,
that
you're making a
second
note of the
step?
document to share, right? One was for the user, and the other one was this, correct? I'm saying you make the note of that so that you can send it, or I'll remind you.
Yeah, I will send it. Someone was asking one question.
No, that edit system administrator for workflow. What is that step actually? The second one, the edit system administrator for workflow, configuring. Yeah.
Nothing. It's nothing. You just execute. Automatically.
Execute automatic administrator.
Yeah, it just no. Rest of the other steps it will automatically. Once we will just click and execute, it will automatically comes to green. But only this one and prefix number, jobs, and some of the email servers and domain names, gateway host. But rest of the steps it is very easy. Mostly, there is no typical things.
Okay, so configure RFC destination is important. Was that is done?
Yes,
Okay.
that is a very important step. Even we were not involved, we just make sure this SWU3, the transaction code for this navigation is SWU3. Generally, either a basis or ABAP team would always check this step if in case of any workflow issues or anything. So whether this comes under this particular screen is green or red, turn to red, or is there any issue in this particular screen? So we must validate this step. Then once this is okay, or once this is red, suppose configure RFC is red, RFC destination, then we will go to SAP batch user, the WF batch user, or the new user. Then our logical RFC. Then okay, WF batch user has email. Okay, once the user is everything is okay, then we will just click and execute. We'll try to re-execute that activity. So once this is okay, then we'll move to next step like that.
And then there's the fourth option, start verification workflow. What is that? Recheck customizing. No. In the main menu, the main screen, right? Automatic workflow customizing. Under that active execute. No. Here only. Yeah. So red automatic customizing, recheck customizing, start verification workflow, and RFC destination information. Start verification workflow. What is that step? Not step. Actually, there is options, right? Red automatic customizing, recheck customizing, start verification workflow.
Oh, okay. This thing. Okay, you can validate. See, once this step is completed, then you can check. We will just validate the workflow, whether that is working, event linkages and everything. But we won't do. If it is the second time, then a redo automatic customizing. So first time is execute, then we have to do it, then we'll perform these tasks. We do customizing or recheck customizing. The same step.
Okay, but when like you create a start verification workflow, you start activating something link event, right?
That is not the first time, right? We have to do subsequent. There are some tasks that next step we will discuss.
Okay.
So probably if it is an issue, then we just click on that to activate the workflow. Like some of the workflows, there's a dependent on tasks and event linkages. If it is you are working on access request, there is some tasks and event linkages are there. Your EVR is the issue. So there are some tasks and workflow event linkages for that particular. Like each workflow has some tasks and event linkages. That is the next step actually.
Okay.
Perform task specific customizing. Okay. So once we come to this step, okay, there are some folders under GRC, right? After GRC, under GRC there are some subfolders. If it is a fresh implementation, okay, if you are doing fresh implementation, only GRC node will be there. After that, there is no folders below. Look like the screen would like this. The initial screen. Are you able to see my paint screen? Like this, even like this node, CRM, just a dot. It won't have any folders under GRC or after GRC, you can see. So you must execute one program. This will rs_apl_refresh. Once you execute this program, then only you will get the folder structure.
So this is mandatory?
Yes.
Put it in your slide. Put it in your slide. Will be great.
I did.
Is this not required in case of upgrade or refresh?
No, this is one-time activity. So for performing this task, first you have to execute rs_apl_refresh. Then expand the GRC node. But before, after GRC, there is no nodes or anything. It won't be there. Last is GRC. So you must execute this program. Then only you will get the child hierarchy of this GRC nodes. And also there are other nodes, right? This HANA, KM, mobile, business mobile, all other folders. So you must execute that program. Then only you will get the folder structure, complete folder structure after GRC and within the GRC also. And it will mention in the post installation step document, which I will share the GRC 10 post installation document. That is the same steps it would cover. There is no change after 10 to 12. There is no much change. So for this particular standard activity, because these are all standard activities, one-time activities, there is no change. So you must execute that program, then only you will get a folder structure. Is this step clear?
Yes.
Now, once we execute the rs underscore appl underscore refresh, it will create the folder structure. Okay. If we observe, there are some duplications. AC, access control, okay, and some plugin, but there is no assign agents and activate event linkages. Actually, why we came to this particular screen and we will expand the folders, we just need to click on the agents. We just need to activate agents and event linkages for access control related workflow tasks. But since we have installed GRC FND underscore A as well as GRC PI NW in the same system, because of that, we lost the access control related assign agents and activate event linkages.
Can you repeat that, please? So you're saying because of the two component, those got deleted, right? Otherwise, you would have had it, correct?
Yeah. Generally, what will happen? The GRC access control also assign agents and activate event linkages will be displayed, right? So that since we are activating the access control, we are configuring access control, right? So we'll just go click on assign agents and activate event linkages, right?
Yeah.
But the GRC FND underscore A component is installed in the system as well as plugin also installed in the same system. Because of the reason it got duplicated, GRC access control folder, and we lost the assign agents and activate event linkage. So we lost the access control related agents and event linkage information.
But Girish, anyway, we need to install that plugin, right? For
install the plugin,
compatibility.
but once we install the GRC access control, then we perform the post installation steps. That time it will be displayed.
So,
before
Girish,
implementing
what
the
plugin are we talking? What plugin are we talking about? It is GRFNW A and GRCPIW, right?
GRCPI and W.
This is something new I did not know.
We have to install, but once we install the GRC FND underscore A component, then we'll perform the post steps, right?
Correct.
Then after once we complete the post steps, then we will install PI and W. That time we configure everything, activate agents and event linkages. Both tasks are completed.
So the both of them are not.
There is no issue.
Both of them not installed at the same time, or it is the basis people do that, right?
No, first they will install this.
Okay.
What they will do, they will install after that A and W. They after that only then they start working on the post steps.
Okay.
So because of this reason, it got empty. But we must require to activate agents and event linkages. Otherwise, what will happen? We will configure the workflow, DRF plus MSMP, everything. But once we submit the request, it won't go to the agent, manager, or access control related anything. It won't go to the agent. and sometimes it won't go to the linkage like working box and the particular owner mapping. Like there is a role. I have mapped the role owner as some Roy or some X person. It won't trigger to that particular approval because I'm not activated access control related event linkage. So SAP has identified this issue and SAP has provided some other transaction codes to manually activate the agents and event linkages. So the transaction code is a PFTC. The same task can be performed in 3 transactions. One is I will enter. I have already maintained there. Somebody has raised. The transaction codes of PFTC, SWDD, SW3. So even this SWDD and PFTC, everything you can do, but you want to know
Hello?
what tasks need to be configured, right? For this, if we go for documentation, what are the tasks related to access control? In the documentation of this step, it will display. So PFTC transaction code and workflows. So one is the tasks, activate event linkage. Then second one is the related workflow tasks. So we have to activate these 2 steps. All the tasks already displayed. How we are going to activate this means we select this number. Standard task. This view number. So once we select the task, you can't change. Click on additional data. Assign agent assignment, maintain. Okay. The same thing in the screenshot. So we have a standard tasks, go to PFTC. We have completed task list is there, access control related. One is the standard task and second one is workflow template. So next step would be to go there, assign agent, maintain. Then since it is a 001, I was not activated. So method no. Once that is completed, then after performing this access control related tasks, if it is access control, GRC access request workflow, then the notifications will go to manager, role owner, and compliance manager, firefighter owner, anything. So each workflow, the tasks would be there.
So, Grish, question: why do you have to say no? It should be yes, right? Previous slide. Transfer the transfer missing element from the object method. Should it be yes?
It is by SAP standard. No.
Oh, okay.
It is SAP recommended.
So this will ask for transport, correct?
Yeah.
And what I noticed was that not all the WS it gives you transport.
All the tasks. Yeah, all the tasks may not require, but
okay.
It will ask for the transport request.
Okay.
And all these steps are SAP standard and with the screenshots. You can just go and activate the steps which SAP suggested. But the purpose of these steps is to trigger the particular agents and it will go to the working box. The notifications go to working box. So if it is access control related, the notification is not going to approval workflow. Then we can check this task, particular task, whether it is activated or not, or this workflow template is triggered or not, or activate or not. We will verify. So for troubleshooting purpose, what is the exact issue? You have to make sure that that particular number you can verify from the standard tasks. Then you can verify in the system whether it got mapped or activated, or is there any discrepancy in the particular task. And this is purely related to workflow. There is a concept about workflow. So those people generally, they will understand what is this, what is the actual, is there any problem in the system or the workflow has configured properly or not. But for GRC perspective, we will just go to PFTC and as whatever the navigation SAP recommended, we will just perform the task. Any questions?
Yeah, Girish, I have two questions. First, like in real-time projects, like what is the practice to install both FND and P and that plugin component together, or
no? Basis team, what they will do, they will install one by one. Like once GRC installation completed, then they will do plugin installation. Then only they will perform
GRC. Okay, after GRC is installed, we need to perform all this before the plugin installation, or how?
No, we can perform either way. If we perform before plugin installation, these manual steps are not required. Okay, we'll directly go and select that particular step.
Yeah.
So we can directly just click on the agents and activate event link pages. You can do that.
Okay. If you're doing so after plugin installation, again we need not to do this step.
Yes.
And my second question is like all these tasks are performed in the development system and transported to production, or how?
Yes. We must perform in the development, then we will move changes across the landscape.
And all these are like
Transportable.
transportable, and these are like workbench, like not specific to client, right?
No workbench. Everything is custom,
Like client specific.
client specific. Yes.
Okay, then if may sometimes we'll have different clients in development, but and one client
No,
in production.
no, see, we have 2 clients. In this case also, we can do the SCL, local client copy.
Okay.
So, local client copy. We will just import the transport request. But
Okay,
we cannot use the GRC extensively 2 clients, right? One is a golden client, definitely, and another one is normal client.
Mhm.
So we will just import the properties from standard client to golden client, and we don't much log into golden client, and we cannot mess up.
Okay. Means if we have other client, we will do configuration there and we'll transport to golden client.
Yes. Generally, they won't mess up the golden client always. They will just possibly without manual work, they will import the transport request and they will just verify the changes were imported into a golden client.
Okay. In that case, like in first step, while creating WF batch, one logical system got created, right, with underscore of the specific client. But in production, maybe the client number is different. So maybe in development client is 888 and in production client is like some 500.
Okay.
So how we will like configure that in the production? That local.
Okay. You were saying development and production client might be different. Then in
Yes,
this case, we will execute the SWA3, that particular system, if required.
Okay, in the production system, you are saying.
No, see, before hand over the system to customer, definitely they will revalidate everything right during the cutover activity.
Mm-hmm.
It may be possible to perform the activity. There might be a possible, right? Suppose you were saying 500. So whatever the transport request, it was created, suppose 300. So 300, whatever the transport request, they will remove the particular logical RFC connection, and they will execute this step as a cutover activity, and it will create 500. See, for moving the transport request, there is a different strategies. Okay, dev to dev connection, quality to quality connection, connectors. Like that, they will follow. If not happen, all the production system will only one GRC system that will be monitored by development, quality, and production systems. This is another strategy. And the third strategy is like development, quality, and production with BRM, business role management. So based on that, the cutover activities will change and the strategies will also change. You raise a point, right? The development client and production client different. Once we will move, changes everything to production. But they will execute the SWU3 step as a cutover activity. And they will create the new logical system there.
Okay, got my answer. Thank you.
Yeah, so like each system they will prepare the cutover steps, right? So that cutover steps will cover in case of any discrepancies or any changes.
Yeah, Girish, thank you.
Okay. And apart from GRC access control, we need to work on the GRC tasks as well. So generally, if everything okay, like the same access control, the folder assign agents and activate linkages were there, you just do click on the assign agents. We won't touch the background task. Generally, these general tasks, right? This is empty. So we'll select this, click on attribute. Probably it got selected like this. So we just need to click on the general task and click on transfer. Automatically, whatever the empty, it will convert it into general task. Like this, we will perform the steps. All the empties were converted into general tasks. We don't touch the background task. And the same screenshot I mentioned. Just select general task. Some of the tasks, probably this is WS, so that is the reason only few fields. But some of the fields are 4 or 5 fields are there. You just need to make it general task and click transfer. That will convert into general task. Any questions? I want to share one note. Okay, that is the next step. So, okay, once we completed general tasks, then we have to go with the event linkages. We have to activate the access control related event linkages. For this step, the navigation would be access control, workflow for access control, activate event linkages for AC workflows. First, it would be object type. You just need to scroll down. There is a ABAP class. This is the step I was referring to last week. The BC set GRC MSMP underscore GRC underscore MSMP underscore configuration. After you activated the BC set, the access control related event linkages should display here. If it is not displayed, we have to create manually. So for that, you have to execute again rs underscore appl underscore refresh that job. Again, if it is not displayed, so we have to create like any local system. We have to check and we have to create all these access control related event linkages. So you can verify this note. This would help you. The particular transaction is SWE2. You can verify this note. What are the activate event linkages and tasks? Everything. Just 1 minute. So. Really sorry. So you can verify this node. All these activate event linkages we have to add manually. This is a function module, only 2 function modules. You just select the class and there is a start, one function module is there, cancel, one function module is there. We need to enter manually. So if you refer this node, this will give you the complete details. Okay, once we complete this, just double click. Just click on linkage activated. Do not change the linkage. So probably this would has a different system default, I guess. It would be previous. So do not change the linkage and linkage activated. Just click on save. So automatically this linkage will select. So if you observe, there is a cancel and start. 2 activities for each WS template. So we just double click. Linkage activated, do not change the linkage. Click on save. If these details are not displayed in the ABAP class, you just click on the new entry. Here, ABAP class, we will enter the details. So object type is CL/GRC of access control related. Access review workflow, event receiver type, function module, and this detail. Function module. Then rest of the other details we will manually update. Yeah. By default, it is a system default. You just need to change. Do not change linkage. Linkage activity. Then click on save. Automatically it will add. All these tasks are based on the fresh implementation. We could find the issue, then we'll try to take the necessary actions. And recently I have observed this issue is most of the implementation, this is missing. CL_GRC class is missing in SWVT. You can verify in the CN also. Then this node was released on 2021. They mentioned you have to re-execute the RS_APPL_refresh program. Still you didn't get it. Then you have to enter the manually all these classes.
So, Girish, how would we know what is missing?
No, we will everything. See, whatever I have highlighted, right? Access control related. You won't get anything. Only BobJ class. Rest of the access control, CL_GRC, all the classes. Okay. Everything will be disappear in this particular screen. You won't see anything in this particular screen.
Okay.
if you submit any voices message to SAP, SAP will, I'll share the document, the post installation steps, whatever we discussed, right? The complete steps. The same steps document, you'll ask SAP to again revisit all the steps, redo all the steps. But starting from the BC side, the tasks, activate event linkages, SWV2, everything. But even though this issue would be there, but still we need to perform manual tasks. But this particular CL class, GRC class missing issue is the embedded setup. The Fury, S4HANA and GRC, everything in the same box. You will find this issue. But only GRC, independent GRC, you will find only access control agents and event linkages missing because of plugin installation. As I mentioned earlier, all these steps we were not involved much, but it is good to know, right? We want to troubleshoot or anything in the workflow related stuff. We must know each and every step, what activities it will perform and whether it is active or not. For the validation point of view. So any questions? Hello. Yeah. Once you start working in the system, probably you may get a lot of issues. But all these steps are standard. Like you can go and activate. Everything it is even the navigation and screenshot, everything which the respective mode and standard documentation, everything. The same screenshot will be there, and it will give you the complete explanation as well. Don't worry about that. Okay, moving on to next step would be, while you need to work on as a GRC administrator, so you must assign some of the roles, GRC star and GRC star. Generally, what we will do for all the tasks, each role has significance of specific task. So we must copy of this SAP standard role, and we will create into custom roles. And combination of the roles we will assign to, like a role owner, separate firefighter owner, function approval, mitigation owner, mitigation controller, firefighter controller, risk owner, auditor, GRC administrator, end user. So there are so many agents or people who require different combination of all these roles. So we must convert these roles and assign to approver. I will share one Excel file as well with the standard roles for if it is a role owner, what roles needs to be assigned. If it is a function approver, what is the basic roles? If it is a firefighter owner, what is the basic roles? So I will share the details today. But most of the GRC tasks would be assigned to only administrator. But GRC access control will be the combination of different agents and agent nothing approver and users. But all the GRC authorizations would assign to mostly GRC administrator, not SPM roles, the access request, and FN function based. But the rest of the other roles are it's a mix of process control and risk management. We don't require, but access control roles will assign to GRC administrator. So we must customize all these roles and we create the users, system administrator or any of the GRC admin like one standard user. That basically that user is created by basis team. They will create the user copy of DD or GRC administrator and assign all these roles. Even for practice in our systems also, we'll assign GRC star and GRC star roles to our users. So any questions? So with this, we have completed our 5 steps. There is only one additional step as a one-time configuration activity. That is SM ICM.
It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
It's a trouble. Let's go to the mall.
So basically, you will get
Okay.
SM ICM screen only for few issues. Like there is some timeout error, 500 internal server error in the NWBC page. So it is taking some time. After that, you got displayed like timeout error, session timeout kind of thing in the NWBC. So what is the meaning is whatever the time set for that particular page buffers, it will take some time. So that keep alive time was not sufficient. Generally, for this HTTP page, there it is maintained 60, but it would maintain up to 3600. That is 1 hour. So you won't get any issues. Okay. If you observe, your changes will lose when you restart ICM. So these are all dynamic changes. Whenever system is restarted, rebooted, then it will automatically, it comes to its original 60, value 60. Whatever we have maintained the value, that will wiped out after system restart. So for this, what will happen? There is some parameters in RZ10. We will maintain those parameters. So with help of those parameters, we don't need to, after system restart or rebooted, we don't require to validate what is the value maintained in this particular screen. But there are 2 issues you may face if we have not maintained proper value. One is timeout error, and second one probably for IAG systems. IAC means like Ariba or success factor, any role. So once we complete the sync job, the data is not being populated in the tables, then you have to check what is the value for HTTPS, what is the time you have to maintain for HTTPS systems. If it's the value like the user count is more, you have to increase the value, process time. Otherwise, your background job is completed and ended with HTTP error, job is completed like that. Any HTTP related significance errors would be populated in the spool log. So you have to make sure that the HTTPS job keep alive time is, we need to increase the time. Even the 3600, suppose you have to maintain 300 is not sufficient, or 8200 is not sufficient. We need to increase more time. Any questions on SMICM?
Is that done by basis team or it is security task?
It's complete basis team. Completely basis.
Okay, and yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, even it is we have identified, we have access SMICM. We are getting keep on timeout issues. Okay, even we have observed like 60, the value is 60. We need to intimate to basis team. Please change the time. We cannot change. Even we have access also, we cannot change the time. But I just show you the navigation, like how it was changed and how, and like what is the process. Even basis team will change the value, because in the company's real time there are some approvals, or there are some process you have to follow. So this can be done by basis team. For temporary normal in our practice systems, you can change this value. But in case of any timeout issue, SMICM parameter needs to change. And the job is completed, but the data is not reflected in the GRC tables. But what are the tables? We'll discuss on the sync jobs at time. Whatever the ECC data which is not reflected, the job is completed. Even though the job is completed, the data is not reflected in the GRC tables. Then we have to check what is the issue. So SMICM, if it is related to HTTPS systems like SuccessFactors or any other systems, we can make sure that the parameter value is not sufficient. Because recently we have faced for HTTPS system. Sync job is completed, roles and profiles are being populated in the tables but not user. It is saying that HTTP error, sync job is completed, user sync completed, but HTTP error. Later we observed that the 3600 is not sufficient while performing the debugging. Then again we have increased it to 5000. Then we got the data.
Sorry, actually, Krish, you mean like the sync job is run and during that time only role and profile get synced but not user, right?
Yes.
Okay, so during that time, what you found like in the debug?
Okay, what we have done, the repository sync job consists of 3 parts: users, roles, and profiles.
Right.
We did the validation for each table in the GRC. We are able to get the data for user and role and profile, but not users. Then there is an option we can split the jobs with the transaction code. Then we have executed user sync only. Then we got the error, HTTP error. User sync is completed. It will not display anything. Later, during the debugging, there are total 40,000 users in the system. Once it crosses 25,000 users, because of the time limit, it got disconnected. The job got disconnected, and it cannot reflect the data in the GRC tables, user data. But with help of ABAP developer, we came to know that the time is not sufficient.
So no, but when we run that job, right, we run it in background, right? So that background job also take that time recorded here 3.600, that 120. If that okay,
See,
so if it
user,
is exceed
user
than that minutes,
background
then
job,
it will,
background job user is different. It cannot time out, but the application time will be there, right? The application we have mapped only for 300 people process time. So it will wait. It will get the data within 300 seconds. After 300 seconds, it will automatically disconnect. Right? This is application time interaction, not the background user. You are saying that background job user doesn't have a limit, right? Timeout.
right, yeah.
No. This is application time.
Okay, understand.
Yeah.
So one more thing, actually, normally that access request come into the approach inbox, right? That specific steps, I mean, where is that, I mean, linkage actually in the configuration? I mean, which are, I mean, that specifically belongs to which step?
Even we saw right? There is a mapping. Assign agent, maintain. This particular step, assign agent.
Okay, so access request, that I mean that will, I mean this is specific to, I mean
Access request.
Access request. Okay.
Yeah. Similarly, we have a different tasks. Access request, user access review. Suppose there is a issue in the approval, user access review. So we have to check this particular task. And firefighter log review approval. Then we'll go with this. If it is a function you have initiated, there is a facility if you have created a new function or risk in the GRC 10. GRC 10 onwards, you can have a facility to create a workflow for functions as well. So, is there any function approval problem? Then you can check this particular task. So based on the issue, we'll go for what is the task ID, whether it is mapped or not. We'll check everything. And once these agents are like, there are two issues. One is if the agent is not assigned, like workflow got triggered. If you go to instant status, it is showing GRC manager, but it is not showing any name of the approver. It doesn't show any of the approver. It is empty. Stage is GRC manager or GRC role owner, whatever it may be. But it doesn't show any approver. This is the issue. Assigned agents were not mapped properly. This task was not activated properly. If approver is existing, but his work inbox doesn't have a request, then we have to check this event linkage of the access request workflow. The event linkage is an issue. there are two issues. One is approver not able to find. Approver is existing, but his working box is empty. There are some different transaction codes also there, but this is the primary one. First, we need to check whether the linkage is activated or not. Once the linkage is activated, then there are some different transaction codes, whether on that particular workflow, whether he has a forwarded, he was delegated, that we'll discuss later on the workflow troubleshooting. I'm not going to that level. We'll check that. But you have to take particular issue. There are some if your workflow is not triggered, then you have to check the logical connection, the workflow, logical RFC connection. First, we need to start from that point. Then WF batch user. Then, okay, if it is access request or function workflow or UAR review or respective workflow, role management workflow. Based on that, we'll verify if it is approver issue, then we will go for check what is the task and what is the workflow template. Once these two, everything okay, then we'll check the event treatment. Then extreme cases, okay, if everything is okay, probably that might be a support partition. But there are some points like, okay, first level, second level, third level. We'll do the troubleshooting also. We'll split the issue. What is the exact issue? Based on that, we'll try to find the solution. That is splitting and trying to check the alternatives. Sorry, what are the solutions for that particular issue? Splitting of the issue is very important. What is the exact issue? Based on the issue, we'll try to do random checks. This might be the cause, this might be the cause.
Sometimes, like Krish, in GRC, we are not get the exact error, what is missing, or something is not at all, display on the screen. And there might be something like to activate this specific linkage or something like other thing, okay, that need to be, maybe inactive and that we did not activate it previously. And what strategy we follow to identify such issues?
So that's what I'm saying. See, if your workflow is not triggered, so first you have to start with these steps. If workflow is triggered, but approver is not found, approver is not mapped. So workflow is fine. So RFC is working fine. Then you have to check the tasks. If the workflow is okay, but the notification is not going to work in box. Notification. Then we have to check SOST first, whether the notification is existing in the SOST, whether WF batch user is email missing, whether the particular approver has email ID or not, proper email ID or old email ID. So you have to focus on what is the exact issue. Based on that, we'll start do the random checks. So the approver is fine, SOST, but the mail server got issue, SMTP issue. The domain was probably the node was down, or there are some issues. Our spool got increased. It was not clear from SOST. It was not cleared out spool. So we'll ask them to basis team to clear the spool. Then it will start sending the emails. There are some that what exactly issue is very important, and splitting the issue is very important. We'll do the randoms. Once the step by step will complete all the steps, and we have validated from our end. Then we have to go with the SOP. Probably it might be suspecting this is a support package. Even we can check the release notes for the latest version. Suppose we are on 18 or we are on 17, then we'll go for 18 notes. Anyway, we are always SAP recommend always n-1, right? So we'll verify 18. Is there any issue with this particular area, access request? Then if not, then we'll reach out to SAP. We'll take the debug help. And instead of we are going for SAP also, we'll reach out to our developer, own developer. We have resolved that issue, HTTP error issue. It was a wonder actually. We have connected the same system in two GRC. One system got data reflected, and the second system got data is empty. So we started comparing, but since it is a basis task, we have ignored this particular thing. We did everything. Then we splitted issue. Okay, user role profile. Then role and profile is okay. Then we separately executed user. Okay, user is the problem. Then what is the user? Then we have checked 40,000. But not even single user is not reflected in the GRC system. Then we did the analysis. There is a performance issue or we have scheduled full sync for user. The job is completed. It doesn't show anything. It is saying that just HTTP error. Then we took the ABAP developer help. Then while debugging, it is pulling the details, complete details it is showing. But while transferring the data, it got disconnected. It is timeout. It was debug. Then we check the respective code. We came to know that the parameter is 2600 is not sufficient. Or 1800 is not sufficient. It took 30 minutes time. Then we have increased, I think, 2600 or 5000 we recommended. Since it is complete, success factor is a complete employee details. So we requested to increase 5000 of this. Once we increase, then we schedule user sync. Will automatically start reflecting the data in the GRC system. But all these tasks will help you to troubleshoot the GRC workflow issue, especially. Any questions?
No question from me.
Yeah. Or just a recap for 2 minutes. What we have done is we have activated the application client as a post-installation activity. We have activated SICF services. Then we have activated necessary BC sets. Then we discussed on workflow tasks, automatic workflow tasks. Then we'll create the initial user and we'll assign we'll customize the standard GRC roles and assign the upper roles to each approval. And while setting the parameters in SMIC1, in case of any timeout or any HTTPS issues. I just added one step as a create package. Generally, we won't do that, but we would require package in two places. One is a prefix number. The second one is sometimes we will change the email notifications. Even email notification also will trigger package. So we would require a custom package. This is not a mandatory step. This is not our step as well. Since as a SME support, whatever the activities we will perform in the GRC perspective, we can suggest we would require some package to move the customizations in the system.
Actually, Girish, when we create the package, for example, RFCs, that configuration, logical system, okay, for logical system even or for any RFC configuration, how, I mean, that are specific to client only, right? And when we move that changes, then SID and everything is different. How it will work actually? How that things work?
So for normal landscape you're talking about?
Yes, yes. Actually, no. If we are making that logical connector that we created, right, in one of the step, activate GRC AC tool. Yeah. In the sorry, activate common workflow, right?
No, no. See, for other activities, it will probably uh, we will move. But when it comes to production system, like what Sonali said, right? So as a part of cutover activity, we'll do the validation and we'll perform if necessary those tasks. But majority of the configuration will move across the landscape.
Okay.
That validation we have to check. That validation for all the steps we will verify. Based on that, in case of any additional steps, we will include into cutover. But the majority of the steps that depends upon the landscape strategy. As I said, right? We will create the configuration. We will complete the connector configuration, like RFC, new RFC system.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 1 minute. Sorry. Okay, 1 minute. Sorry. See, that depends upon strategy of the transport movement. Like if we move the transport for development and quality connectors, so even we just need a client open in quality and production system to perform the connector configuration. And once the transports from development and quality connectors move to production system, anyway, we need to remove all these connectors and we can again configure the production systems. You understand my point?
Okay, so basically we will create the new connector only in the production quality system.
Definitely.
Okay.
See, if it is a one-to-one strategy, we will open the client and we will configure. If it is a first time, we will configure in the development and we will move across the landscape, but we will remove those connectors in respective system. Quality. Once the transport is moved, we will request our client open. We will reconfigure from quality to quality systems, like quality GRC to quality ECC system. But whatever the development transported connectors, we will remove from the quality GRC system. Same, as a part of cutover activity, we will move all the changes to production system, but we will remove. That depends on audit control. Sometimes what will happen from development itself, quality and production, they will create dummy RFCs. They won't do anything, just dummy RFCs. So they won't open client for a long time. Whatever the configurations from development system, they will perform and they will move the changes across the landscape. In some landscapes, some companies. How we are aligned with auditors and how we are performing the strategy within the landscape is different. In our earlier clients, we will request client open, we'll perform the activity. Even we created, irrespective, if it is a connector configuration or related such transports, we will delete before moving the changes, like whatever the changes we would require, or like a parameter configurations, apart from system replication. Like the development connector will not reflect in other systems. So we will remove those transports. Rest of the configuration we will move across the landscape. Any other questions?
All right, so let's end for today and then meet again tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah, we'll start working on the connector configuration starting from tomorrow if there is no questions. And we'll share some material today in the presentation slides and as well as roles and approach steps.
Okay, then. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Girish. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Girish,
everyone.
I should stop the recording.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, please.